Okay, so we can go to the mill. Let's go to the mill. See what trouble we can rile up.
The Deerford Mill was a late addition to the Deerford Village. For a while, the mill was just a landmark in the exterior, a piece of scenery, but not a place you could enter. However, once we began QA on the project, one of the first things we noticed is that literally everyone tried to enter this building. We learned quickly that the sort of things attracted players' attentions, one of which was a great big water mill that dynamically moves in the scene. As soon as we realized this, we decided to include the interior to this building, another place for the player to explore and find things hidden around the village. This is where we learned that adding dynamic objects to the scene was a surefire way to grab the player's attention.
Does it?
Yes,
It's dynamically doing that shit?
I see something.
Secrets. Alright, it's my grain. I found it. You can't have it. It's mine. Quick, 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 quick. Alright. Peridot.
Yeah.
Can we talk to you? Is that true? Have you been to Defiance Fate? I heard there's no Hollowborn there. Is that because I fixed it, or is that just like a scripted bullshit thing? Like, rumor has it that it's safe from Hollowborn. Or is that like a dynamic thing? You found your plate. It was sitting in your microwave. Hooray! The plate has been found. Justice and serenity return to the Fractal household. Rumbald. A man paces angrily in front of a wrecked animal pen, his sun-weathered face twisted with ire. He's so wrapped up in his fury that it doesn't seem to notice you. Gawain, slobbering beast, blazing bloody effigy, thrice damn salty wench and her soggy. Whoa, 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 sir, hold on. That's probably not the best way to pray to the gods. A fat lot of good they did me so far. Just look at this mess. My pen ruined and all but a measly runt's gone. Calm down and tell me what happened. He bites his lip and closes his eyes. His nostrils flare with each quick, angry breath. Wife's always telling me to mind my temper, just breathe deep and count to 10, he sighs. An ogre moved in the area not long ago. Folk had been seeing glimpses and tracks out in the woods, but it seemed to be staying away from town. Or so we thought until it made off with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kith, if it hasn't already. Tell me how I can help. I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but I'd set my mind at ease if you see that thing's head shorn from its neck. In fact, if you bring its ugly pate to me, I'll trade you for something that's of less use to a farmer like me than to a rowdy looking sort like yourself. What do you know about the ogre? Living lands. It's the same as any other, I'm sure. A big, ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Triggle could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You can find him in his shop right by the broken tower. He waves his hand. But it's got to be tiny compared to the sorts of beasts you see up in the living lands. Need something else? I've been sent to find an Orla named Niffer. Know where she is? Never heard of her. Thanks. A farmer's plight. I was gonna say piglet. Kind of fits, right? Some guard. Can we talk to you? Nope. Alright, let's go in the inn and appease this noble. Villagers, plenty. Have we seen that word?
I watched through all of the guild before working on this inn. I wanted to make sure it had enough of the right elements to represent its backer. When I got to the episode with the Highlander painting, I knew it had to be in the inn somewhere. The table locations with the banners next to them are also a nod to the episode where the Knights of Good are sent to the back of the line outside of a game store. In this inn, they get the table in the back as represented by their banner on the wall.
Huh, neat. Alright, Sid.
I just want to find her. Surely even you can understand that.
A redhead stands by the fire, tuning her lute and plucking its strings. She hums snatches of a melody as she goes. First time at the Dracagon? Normally I'd have a song ready, but I haven't quite worked out this tune yet. I'm writing some chants about the founding of this inn. Say, you interested in the story? I haven't finished the chants, but I could tell you about it all the same. Sure, let's have it. Pallegina rolls her golden eyes and exhales for an excessively long time through her nose. It was built in the time of Hadrit's rebellion, and Aediran lady Thanu once had a keep here. One of the towers still stands, but the rest is said to be buried under the village. Anyway, she stuck to the side of the Empire, and a contingent of Duke Hadrit's Knights of the Crucible helped the farmers and colonists in the area turn her keep to rubble. This inn was the first building that sprang up from the ruin, built with some of the same bricks the colonists had pulled from the Lady Thanu's castle, they say. Supposedly, the quarterstaff of her chief wizard even got lost in the construction. Mortared into a wall or nailed under a floor bed. Well, now we know we're sneaking everywhere. Anyway, the inn was supposed to be a haven and a meeting place while the locals built their new town. What's a Lady Thanu? A Thane or Thanu is a man or woman who's part of the military elite, a knight, if you will. Typically, the position is inherited. A Lord Thane or Lady Thanu owns land and also commands several unlanded Thanes. The woman who last held the keep here came from a long line of landed Thanes. I take it something went wrong? Derwoodins are an ordinary lot, and the more these new neighbors met, the more they argued. They realized they didn't agree on much beside ousting the old lord. The biggest divide was over the Glanfathans and their nearby ruins. Hadrit's Knights and their supporters wanted to keep the peace, but a group of misfits with more anarchic leanings that had formed in town wanted to go after the tribes the same way they'd gone after their lord. Soon the villagers were fighting with each other as much as the Aedirans. In the end, memories of the Broken Stone War and the War of Black Trees were fresh enough that the Duke's soldiers won the day. Most of the other villagers came around eventually, but some of the core troublemakers left to join the front lines of the War of Defiance. And others, I've heard, found their way into the Guided Compass, the most forward-looking of the Glanfathan tribes. I don't know if I believe that part myself, but it makes a good story. Yeah, Fractal, I've been in this place for, I'm going on my second year, and I still get shit mail from 2 or 3 previous owners. I hate it. She points to the east wall. There's a portrait of one of the chief rabble-rousers and his rival in the peacekeeping faction. Someone's idea of a joke. I don't think they were particularly amused. I want to hear... Okay, I'm not going to read this crap. I just want to... yada, yada, yada. See if I get anything out of it. I see... Add math. Yeah. Okay, 2 again. What's a graph? Governing. Oh, God. So much dialogue and text that meant nothing. All right, can we sneak? Yeah, I know you see me. That's fine.
Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
Okay. Clearly,
What is it?
you guys are dumb. Okay. Go over there.
Well,
You're ruining my sneak. Just a couple of beers. Alright, we're out of here. Lord Harrond. Man wears a deer-style robe, simple but elegant. His fine leather shoes look like they were made for padding around indoors, yet they're caked with mud. He yanks at a lock of hair twined around his silk glove finger. His fine features are etched with anxiety.
Child is out there. Do they not understand?
Guess not.
My lord, we're doing everything we can. Unfortunately,
These villagers. Beasts take them all. I don't care how you do it, but find her.
Your child's missing, I take it?
Yes, Lady Alice, my daughter. I've asked around, but nobody in this mud hole has any concerns beyond their swine. They turn my men away like beggars and seem downright pleased to be of no use. But you're not one of my soldiers. And you look like you're used to getting your hands dirty, if you don't mind my saying so.
You just got a letter from the legal office saying the previous owner owes over $700 to DirecTV and legal action will be taken. Well, do you have DirecTV? Like, that's the previous owner's business. Like, you set up no contract with them, and if you have, you've paid your obligations just fine. So easy peasy. I mean, if cops come to your door, just be like, yeah, that's not me. Boom. That was the last guy. Go get an investigator. My lord, a simple vagabond? Harrond raises a hand to silence the man. If you find her... He nibbles the thumb of one silk glove. Tell her I won't be upset with her. She can come back and all will be well. I just want to make sure my Elise, my child, is safe. Nothing in the world is more important to me. I'd like to ask a few questions about your daughter.
Elise. Of course.
Describe her. She's a striking young woman, bears more resemblance to her mother than to me. She has auburn hair and delicate, well-bred features. She must be 28 or 29 now. Tell me about her disappearance. We stopped in Deerford for a few days. On our fourth evening here, I was making plans to continue our journey while Lady Elise was feeling unwell and went to bed. When I retired a couple hours later, I found that she had vanished. None of my men had seen her go, and no one at the inn knew where she was. Since then, my people have been combing the village, but we've yet to find a clue, and the locals have been no help. Why did you come here? It was merely a stop along the way to Ina's Rest. However, she took ill shortly before our arrival, so it seemed prudent to allow her a few days to recover. Really, Fractal? Dude, your previous owners were shit. So wait, Verizon refused you service because the previous owner didn't pay that stuff? That's stupid. It's like, look, I'm trying to give you business. This is a place for rent. What's like, how are you at fault at all, ever, in any way? What's in Ina's Rest? He frowns as if about to protest, but he gives in with a sigh. Lady Elise has reached an age where it is prudent for her to marry. Given this legacy business, I can't let her fertile years slip by. Nor do I want her womb to fester in the presence of so many Hollowborn. Man, I wish I had those options. Where's the rest of your family? I'm sure they want to miss the betrothal. Lady Harrond is ill-suited for travel, I'm afraid, and unfortunately, she has few other close relatives. My sister and her husband have been visiting Deer these past months. As for siblings, she has none. My wife has only given birth to Hollowborn since at least that is. I see, but going back to your daughter, what about her? Let's go back to my previous questions. I heard you arguing with this innkeeper.
Small-minded man, just like the rest of them around here. I've been paying him an honest fee for board and bed, and yet he can't be bothered to stir himself to concern for my Elise.
Couldn't they have a technician come to your place and just like verify all that shit? Be like, look, I'm different. This is my shit. That's, I mean, I understand that they don't want to get burned by someone claiming a different identity. But that's still really dumb. And the fact that you had to go through so many, like, those are pretty personal, personally identifiable information. Like,
People from these backwater villages take offense for sport. You have to but show up with a full coin purse and they'll hear insult in the jingle of your step. They forget that Duke Hadred came from the privileged classes, as did all of the other earls and lords who financed